One of the things that I didn't quite get to in the previous video is type terminology beyond what is specifically covered in the module book. And it's a category called type anatomy. We didn't specifically put it in the module book because there are a lot of really excellent online resources, and one of these is the website I have up right now. It's typedecon.com, and I'm specifically in the type glossary section of their webpage. There is a summary of all of this, or many of these, that are linked from the, okay, and that link is dead. I'll figure something out. You can actually download it from the Type Decon website, and that may be a better approach because technically speaking, they want to know who is downloading their content, so I may just have to remove the link. I've got to check the legality on that one. Sorry, the item is related to this type glossary. So if you want a summary of all of this and you go to shop, the item is the electronic download, if I can figure out where it is, digital download free. I probably could have just gotten to it from there. And it is free, and you can add it to the cart. They just want your email address, but it contains all of the glossary terms that we're about to look at. And if you want that full copy so that you can have it on your computer rather than having to go into the online version of the digital glossary for reference purposes, this is where you would get to it. So again, typedecon.com. If you click on type glossary, you'll see these terms, and these are really important terms. You've already heard me mention some of these terms when we were dealing with certain characters and so forth. And there is a quiz that you're going to be asked to take. I think the quiz doesn't show up until Module 8. Over these type glossary elements. Some of them you probably already know, some of them you may not know, but there are a bunch, and so working through the glossary is a really helpful way of doing that. There are a few online type anatomy quizzes that you can take, again, based off of the terminology here. I just think the type decon people probably do this better than anybody in terms of a review and overview of the items. The first of the ones that shows up is Ampersand. If you want to click on it, you can get more information. It tells you where the term comes from. It's Ampersand again. It's a symbol, of course, that has come to mean and. It comes to us because originally this was the E and the T characters in Latin and then French, and ET is and in Latin and now French, and it's a stylized version of those two characters. In certain typefaces, you can still see the et, the E and the T, very clearly. You can sort of see the roots of that in this, even this character form. And then if you view one character, you can view the next one. The vertex is going to be on the bottom. It's going to be where two of the strokes, which are these diagonal marks, are meeting. So in the case of this W, there would be two vertexes on the left, and then there's one that's not highlighted to the right. Any other characters you can think of, like, I don't know, maybe a V would have a vertex as well. And X height, for example, is the height of most of your lowercase characters. The X is the classic example that's used to demonstrate this, and it's represented most commonly by a bar that goes up to a dashed or dotted line, or the height of whatever that lowercase character happens to be. If this were a capital letter, it would extend above this midline or this X height area, and it would be taller, and that would be called the cap height if we were talking about the height of the capital letter. But anyway, you can go through and you can see how this works. Definitely spend some time going through and learning these terms. These will show up again on that typography quiz, and they may also be at least some of these on the final exam.